So having said that, and if we then see that as starting to chill and be more relaxed and being able to see what the universe throws up for us in the perfect order of what the universe, how the universe sees it, and not necessarily how we are trained to see things, we then start to take our experiences, and good or bad, as more like a gift and more like a clue to what it is that we are needing to deal with here and now. And it is almost as if this is we become more aware that this is actually beneficial to us. This is actually really serving us, and so we let go of the outcome more. We let go of it has to be in this way or it has to be in that way, but we start to be more open to all the opportunities, all this kind of solutions that the universe comes up with. So rather than sort of saying, oh, this is how I want this problem solved, or this is how I like this desire to be fulfilled, we are then suddenly able to see that it is not just like this or just like that. There are many ways that this can happen, and it is just like as if we allow ourselves to be open for these different options for fulfillment that the universe presents us. And yeah, this is happening, and we are starting to say yes to that, and yes to that, and yes to that, and then we are molding that clay in such a way that it sort of makes sense to us, and it doesn't need to be in one specific way so much anymore. Okay, now having said that, and going back to what I said in the start, I wanted to talk about intent as well. Where does this whole thing about intent come in? If we are on the one hand saying that we're not making things happen, but we are letting things happen, we are allowing things to happen, rather than having a certain agenda in the sense of I want this, I would like this, and I like that desire to be fulfilled in this way, or I'm going to act in a certain way in order for a certain result to happen. So how does this intent come into the picture? And this is where I find that the sort of whole concept of focus is very helpful, because everything is reacting to everything around us, including our bodies, and our sense of self is reacting to our intent. And I would almost say intent is the same as focus. It is a focused way of being deliberate with where we want to go with certain things, where we want to go with things. And if we for example have an intent to be healthy, and we are looking at our reality, and somebody is saying to us, well, with this condition or with that condition, it can only go this way. For example, health wise, you would not be able to maybe cure this, but say for example with dementia, or with Alzheimer's, or with some certain illnesses that or conditions that we tend to have a kind of a certain way medically to see this, to diagnose these things, and then you could, for example, then say, well, that is not, I heard somebody say that actually the other day, that is not my reality. The doctors have said it's never going to be, to this person, it's never going to be better. It's just, you can maybe improve it with medication or something, but it is not going to change significantly. And she basically said, well, that's not my reality. And she started to focus on herself being healthy and that feeling of being healthy. And it's very much in line with what Abraham Hicks also have been saying for a long time, that you create your own reality through your focus. So so if we can see how we can guide our reality deliberately through our focus, not by forcing a specific result, but by beginning to feel, say for example, feel joy, or feel healthy, feel health, well-being, start to immerse ourselves in that feeling of what it's like to be experiencing some of those feelings that make us feel happy, abundant, and gets us sort of closer to who we really are. Then we are well on the way to really work together with the universe, because this is what the universe wants for us as well. This is what the natural state of being is the feeling of joy, is the feeling of abundance, is the feeling of love and lack of fear. It is all this, and this is where we sort of, where our intent and the universe can sort of come together, not in order to create a specific outcome, but just the more, not necessarily a specific, I'm not saying that can't happen, that can happen, but initially the sort of wider a sense of well-being and and joy, that then opens up for this flow to happen. And then the more we start to put our intent there, even becoming more specific, because this is what happens, the more we can open up for allowing and go with that flow of the universe in a general way, then we are opening up for that possibility of also playing with the universe in a more specific way, where we really have got some certain specific areas that we would like to create around, and we will just see how that all falls into place. And I'm not saying it is going to be exactly as we planned it or wanted it to be, but it will certainly be close to that. And sometimes we just don't even have the imagination to how it could be in the universe, will show us, why don't you try this, why don't you try that, and that is when it becomes, we are in that sweet spot where we just like it, we just create, and we create, and if things comes flowing. But it's important also to just like have that sense of balance, that we can all sort of calibrate and fine-tune that when we do feel that flow is not there, that we know that that we have that option to calibrate, as I said, but also that we sort of know the waves of how how these things come, and we know that maybe we are here in our own way and we've got resistance towards something, and we know we need to chill, we know we need to let it go, we know we need to go general and start to just get that flow started again. And this is sort of an awareness that I feel that we are starting to really get the hang of more and more. And so there is not a contradiction between going with the flow and having an intent. They are sort of part of the same thing, and it's part of the same. There's some kind of a focus that we put in there, and the more that focus is in line with who we really are, and aligned with the sort of default, you know, our natural state of being, which is joy, abundance, love, compassion, all these things, then we're on a roll. Then we're, you know, then it's just going out there, and equally we are not fearing the contrast, because we know that that is a way of fine-tuning. That's a way of just, is a guidance for us. It's our guidance system, and we can start to embrace it as such. So yeah, so as I say, I just wanted to talk around that, and I hope it hasn't been too confusing, because yeah, this is what it is, and this is what I just wanted to say today. So I'll leave it with that, and I'll see you around, and wishing you all a good evening, and be back soon. Hi.